Please watch to the end. Comment and respond to other people's comments.
A man is set to appear in court today. This is in connection to a deadly shooting in Plymouth.
So the details are wild. We're told that it all started with the fender bender. It ended with the gun being pulled and with the young child in the car.
Yeah, we want to bring in NBC 10's Oscar Margain. He's live outside of Plymouth District Court. Okay, Oscar, break down what happened here.
Yeah, well, authorities say that two men got into a fight. Then witnesses say they heard anywhere from 3 to 4 gunshots before noticing that the shooting suspect was trying to perform CPR on the victim. Now, here's footage from that incident on Friday night of the shooting. Just shortly before that shooting happened, now police responded to a parking lot on Middle Street in downtown Plymouth just before 6 p.m. And that's where officers found 41-year-old Brent Berkeley with multiple gunshot wounds. They say Berkeley was driving a Jeep SUV that was involved in a minor accident with a Toyota RAV4 driven by 23-year-old David Jerome with his 18-month-old child on board. Now, the two men got into a physical fight that ended with Jerome allegedly shooting Berkeley. Jerome was arrested while the shooting victim was taken to the hospital where he died.
In a world now where many people have short fuses and terrible things happen very quickly. They can escalate very quickly.
To the South Shore now, where we are learning new details about a deadly parking lot shooting in Plymouth on Friday night. Prosecutors say there was a toddler in the suspect's car at the time. Washington 25 News reporter Jim Morelli is live in Plymouth. And Jim, we learned a lot more today about what led up to this.
Yeah, we did. The prosecution says that David Jerome was involved in 2 incidents on the road on last Friday evening. Both of them were minor, but one of them escalated into something anything but minor. And yes, and the whole time in the back seat was his 1-year-old son.
Your husband goes out, your husband doesn't come home. They got 2 people just like that.
A minor traffic incident that devolved into a fatal shooting. That is the case against David Jerome, arraigned Monday in Plymouth District Court on allegations he murdered Brent Berkeley.
We pretty much agreed with the government's narrative in terms of what happened before.
What's in dispute is whether David Jerome shot Berkeley in self-defense last Friday after he caused a parking lot collision.
This defendant, by his own admission, was texting on his phone when he banged his vehicle into or rear-ended the victim's vehicle.
The prosecutor says Berkeley confronted Jerome, who remained in his vehicle.
There were words exchanged, and some witnesses and this defendant indicate that Brent Berkeley did make physical contact, punching this defendant in the face, Your Honor.
At that point, the prosecution says Jerome shot Berkeley multiple times in the chest and abdomen, but he wasn't finished.
And it is alleged that this defendant got out of his vehicle at that time, gun in hand, stood over the victim's body and fired multiple other rounds at that time.
Then witnesses claimed what seemed an about-face as Jerome walked away, then reapproached Berkeley's body.
And he proceeded to say, don't leave me, don't give up, something along those lines.
Witnesses say Jerome then performed CPR on the man he had allegedly just shot.
Every killing like this is tragic.
You can still feel the weight of the shock and sadness here on Main Street. The victim we now know was a father of 2 young kids. And in court, prosecutors alleged the suspect was in 2 altercations that night. Tonight, a small memorial forming in front of the Speedwell Tavern in Plymouth. The popular spot on Main Street is where 41-year-old Brent Berkeley was considered family, and just feet away from where police say he was shot and killed Friday night.
You are charged with count 1, murder.
In court Monday, with a black eye, 23-year-old David Jerome faced 6 charges. Family of the suspect and victim were in court too. Prosecutors say Jerome was at a brewery with his 1-year-old son Friday. Witnesses report seeing him drink 1 beer and order 2 to go. While leaving, prosecutors say Jerome got into his first altercation when Jerome allegedly drove the wrong way down the street and nearly hit a truck.
He said to that unknown male in the white pickup truck something about putting him in a body bag.
While pulling away from that scene, police report Jerome ran into the car belonging to Berkeley. Police say Berkeley got out of his vehicle, walked to Jerome's car, and an argument led to Berkeley punching Jerome in the face. With Jerome's 1-year-old in the back seat and 2 guns in the car, police say he shot Berkeley multiple times.
He then, by his own admission, opened the door and continued shooting from a standing position over the victim who was on the ground, stating, "Don't move," to the victim.
Witnesses say Jerome started performing CPR in the victim before he ultimately died. The judge ordered him held without bail. Jerome's attorney is arguing self-defense.
There are 4, it would appear, bullet holes in the hand of the deceased, Mr. Berkeley. And I would suggest that that might indicate that Mr. Berkeley, was reaching for the gun.
The tavern near where this happened reopened Monday, thanking the community for their support, writing, "Words are really hard to come by, and it's going to take time for us to get back to who we are."